Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Discard Dead, where again, normally we open boosters and boxes of dead and out of print trading card games, but today we're going to be continuing on with our Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team series with the final episode of Beta Dhecima, which is Termination. Hey! I've actually had this in my locker for quite some time. I picked it up when it came out and never got around to doing it until now. That's fun. And I know that, the new Kill Team has already come out and has already been receiving a lot of attention. And those Vespers do look pretty cool. But today we're going to be doing this. Just to round out the series, So as with our previous installments, we open the box, we take all the stuff out. Termination is the battles between, the Brood Brothers, which are Imperial traitors with a bit of Gene Stealer mix. And what are they? The Hernkyn Yaegirs. If you're not familiar with the Hernkyn Yaegirs, they are a part of the Leagues of Votan, which are a recent addition to 40,000. Kinda. They're basically space wolves. The squats from old Rogue Trader era. Lots of sprues. One big one. Okay. And then we've got these cool things. Let's see, what are these things called? Box. These are called Termination Plasma Genitoriums. Basically giant plasma engines, I guess. And of course, big folder. We've got transfers. I do love these folders that come with these Kill Team boxes, like these big box sets. If I can open the dang thing. Okay, so we've got, again, tactical ploy cards for the Brood Brothers and the Yaegirs. We've got, whoops, wow, okay, that's a lot of cards. A massive whopping pile for the Brood Brothers, and a slightly smaller pile for the Yaegirs. And then of course we've got instructions, we've got bespoke tokens, and we've got our campaign book, which has all the same sort of combinations of glorious artwork, stats, missions, lore, all that rad stuff. That's it, let's jump in. Hey guys, sorry, forgot to mention, just in case you couldn't tell by the title, I'm going to be doing the Yaegirs today. I'm going to try something risky, because, the last box for Beta Dhecima, I thought, let's do something cool. And it's squats, so why not? So let's do something hard. And then, next video, obviously, I'll do the Brood Brothers. The next one, the Brood Brothers one is going to be a little interesting, because I'm going to be doing... well, you know what? You'll see you'll see it when you watch it. After starting with a spray paint of Mechanicus Standard Grey, we're going to go over this with a coat of Mephiston Red. This is going to go over the chest plate and any of the shoulder pads and any of the guns. Next up, we're going to go over with some XV88. This is going to go over the brown leathers of the backpack and any of the belts. We're just going to touch the hilts of the plasma knife with some Barracknar Burgundy. Another small detail, we'll be touching up the knee pads and the toe and heels of the boots with some Macragge blue. Next up, we'll be hitting up the plasma blade and the portions of any of the guns with some Iron Hands steel. Any of these small filigree we'll be touching up with some Retributor armor. After using some XV88 on the skin tones, we're going to bring it up a bit more with some Kislev flesh. Now we're going to paint the entire coat with some grey cere, which we'll be building up later on in the clip to a nice white colour. Now with some gnome oil, we'll be going over the red armor plates, the grey cloak on the back, the fur cloak, and any of the silver metallics. With some Seraphim Sepia, we'll be going over the leathers and any of the gold components. Once that's all done, we'll go over the coat with some Apothecary White contrast paint. Paying a bit of attention to the fur cloak, we'll be doing some Dawnstone on the little tufts. In the meantime, we'll touch up the leathers just with a bit more XV88. As well as bringing up some highlights in the armor with some Evil Sun Scarlet. And now I'm lightly touching up any of the blue areas with some Lothern blue. Going back to the red sections of our model with some Wild Rider red, just to bring up that nice bright red color. And finally touching back on the fur cloak, we'll be hitting those very small points with some Ulthuan grey. Now something that I wanted to try out with this, I've got some white scar, which I diluted down a little bit just to paint on the edge of the blade. And sort of try and do a little lightning approach, just to sort of, while we're at it, we're going to use some white scar again, just to go back and bring up some of the edge highlights on this coat. Now to paint some highlights on the skin tones with a little mix of Kislev flesh and Screaming Skull. Here I am going back over the blade, trying to bring out that lightning effect with some more white scar. And now going back over the blade with some Frost Hearts contrast paint. and then retouching up the skin tones with a stronger mix of more screaming skull mixed with some Kislev flesh. Last but not least, just touching up the hair detail with, again, a little bit more XV88. Once they're all done, I've touched up the bases with some black and some Astro Granite texture paint, some Nuln Oil, and a bit of highlighting dry brushing. I think they turned out pretty well. I was a little trepidatious about doing like a heavy white presence on the model, but I think it turned out okay. And then of course we've got all of our data cards for all of our unit types. As well as the bespoke tokens that come with the set. And the token descriptor card shows you what they all are. So I wanted to do something different in this one. Instead of tacking on some other kill teams on the back, I wanted to paint up all the terrain pieces that came with the Salvation and the Nightmare boxes. So we've got the Salvation rig apparatus pieces. These are scatter terrains, they can be put anywhere. And then you've got the generator hub, which comes from the Nightmare box. It's a pretty big piece, but I think it turned out nicely. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a great time making it, as I have a great time doing anything miniatures based. So yeah, hopefully you guys can tune into the next one, which is going to be all the other bits. Alright, later.